In this demo, we're going to take a look at the IBM DataPower network configuration. Specifically, we're going to take a look at the interface category. Inside that category, we have the configuration objects for Ethernet interface, VLAN interface, link aggregation, network settings, host alias, DNS settings, and NTP service. So let's go ahead and get started with the demo. For this demo, we're going to log on as an admin. The interface configuration category is only available when logged in as a privileged user and only when you are in the default domain. We're going to go ahead and jump right to the network settings and expand interface. The Ethernet interface has 4 configuration objects. The objects represent the number of network interfaces available on DataPower, and the configuration for each is identical. I'm going to go ahead and configure Ethernet 1 to change it from DHCP to static. So we'll uncheck DHCP, check static, we'll give it an IP address, and we'll also add the subnet mask and CIDR format. Next, we'll give it a default gateway. Hit apply, and we just changed that Ethernet adapter from a DHCP connection to a static connection. Next, we have the VLAN interface. The VLAN interface allows multiple logical LANs to coexist on the same Ethernet segment. We are not using VLANs in this demo, so let's skip this item. The link aggregation interface combines multiple Ethernet ports. When combined and used in parallel, the aggregate interface increases link speed beyond a single Ethernet port. We're not using link ag in this demo, so we're going to skip this one as well. The network setting item is used to configure advanced network capabilities that affect all of the interfaces. For instance, let's say you want to disable ping on DataPower. You would simply go over here to the ICMP traffic, add an item. We'll add echo, which is the first item in the list. Echo is actually a ping, and we'll make sure that's disabled for this device. All the other advanced items will leave the same. We'll go ahead and click on apply. Now we move on to host alias. DataPower has a host table list that will allow you to map host name to IP address. This comes in handy when testing and when your host is not a valid DNS entry. Let's add one called DataPower. We'll click on New, give it a name, and map that to its IP address. Come down here to the bottom, click on Apply, and now we've created a host entry called DataPower that we can use within our configuration. Next, we'll move on to DNS settings. This is where you add your DNS entries, so registered hosts can be resolved. You can see we have one DNS entry already. You can add as many DNS entries as you need. We'll just add a secondary one here. And we're going to leave the default for all of the ports. These you would only change if you're instructed to do so by your network administration team. We'll go ahead and click on Apply. So now we have DNS entries that apply to all of the Ethernet interfaces on the device. Let's move on to the NTP service. The NTP service is the time server setting to keep all of your devices in sync with each other. So if you're running multiple devices, you may want to keep those devices in sync, and instead of having to set the time in each, you can actually sync them up to an NTP server. We'll go ahead and add a server. Google's pretty popular, so we'll add that one. And then we'll apply it. Now let's go ahead and save by clicking on Save Changes. That concludes the network configuration demo. Thank you for your time.